Hello, beautiful people. Thank you for being here for another video. Today I wanted to share with you some things that have shifted for me over the years, my journey to self-love and not picking myself apart, making healthy routines a priority, including my fitness routine and positive self-talk, and beyond. All right, let's jump right in. As mothers, it's really easy to put yourself on the back burner, so let this be your reminder, if you're a mother watching this right now, to take care of yourself. Because if you're not feeling your best, and this is something I've reiterated a lot on this channel because it's not really only a reminder for everyone watching but also for myself, that if I'm not taking care of myself, I'm not going to feel my best and I'm going to be more likely to be on edge and not be the best parent that I can be, best partner that I can be, and those are two of my highest priorities and goals in life. So taking care of myself has a ripple effect on everyone else in your life, not just yourself. I didn't always have a fitness routine. It was probably 6, 7, or 8 years ago when I started to implement movement routines and exercise into my weekly habits in my life. And I found so much benefit from that, and it took quite a while to hone in and figure out exactly what is going to bring me the best results, or just the results that I'm looking for in the quickest amount of time, because of this busy schedule and life that I have in this phase of my life. My life isn't always going to be this busy, but where I'm at right now. And also to bring me the most benefit based on what I'm looking for, which is to feel stronger, to feel really present in my body, and to support my health in more ways than one. I also wanted to touch on my self-love journey, which I think is so important, and I know it can be a little cliche to talk about self-love or a little bit overdone, but I really have found that the older I got, the more layers were peeled back from the onion, if you know what I mean. That I might have criticized myself when I was younger in a way that I don't do anymore, and that if I see myself in the mirror, I have more of an inclination to look at myself in a positive way rather than picking myself apart. And it's interesting because you would think that the older you get, you know, as you're aging, you might pick apart yourself more, but I don't know if this resonates with any of you guys, but I feel like I've stepped into myself in a way that is just different from when I was younger. And I've talked about, you know, this on the channel before, about how I was made fun of in elementary school, and that my mom always encouraged me to go back to school the next day being myself and being confident in who I was. And so that was really helpful in my evolution journey, but there still was that temptation to pick myself apart. And I really want to convey the theme of this video is that you can only love others as much as you love yourself. Loving myself with a simple skincare routine or motivational and helpful tools for a disciplined fitness regimen like the Copilot app that I love so much, which is an affordable fitness coach app that combines the personalization and accountability of a human expert with the flexibility of technology. And also self-talk has been monumental for me. Your internal dialogue truly affects how you feel on the inside and even look on the outside. One thing I really like to remind myself and my friends is that when you look at pictures of yourself from 10 years ago or even 5 years ago, 15 years ago, how often do you think, wow, I looked so great. How could I have been so critical of myself or insecure in how I looked? This is specifically speaking on when we can pick apart our appearance. You're not going to think anything but positively about how you looked. I think we can be so critical about the way we are in the moment, not looking at the bigger picture and the beauty of who we are now. And yeah, I've just had many experiences where I look at old pictures of myself and think, wow, I was so cute and adorable. I can't believe I was insecure about this or that, about my thighs or about maybe the way my hair was or about my jawline or anything like that, because I just see myself and my innocence and my youth and think I was beautiful. And so I just think that's a really helpful reminder to look at yourself in the mirror in a positive way, with that reminder that you're going to 20 years from now, when you look at who you are now, you're likely to look at yourself with fondness and appreciation of who you were in that moment. Truly, beauty is internal, and your energy speaks more than anything, I think, and your confidence too. Have you ever seen someone who is so maybe considered beautiful by our today's society standards, yet you can sense the insecurity coming off of them, versus someone who might have more extreme features that isn't commonly considered beautiful by today's standards, yet they exude so much confidence that that makes them beautiful, and their kindness and their love just radiates from them. That truly is what makes you beautiful. and love of life. I think sometimes we can forget those things. And I talked about this on my podcast episode on body dysmorphia with Sophia Esperanza. It's an incredible conversation I recommend you check out if you haven't yet. So I think as I've gotten older, I've just started to show up for myself imperfectly and looking at life and even myself no longer about lack, but rather abundantly. And that starts to exude how you feel inside. And that has been a huge part on my journey in life. I think positive mental reconditioning is super powerful, and I love the book The Mind Change Method. If you haven't read that book, highly recommend it. My friend Heather McKean wrote it, which is all about rewiring your brain, transforming the way that you look at life, look at yourself, and even healing yourself both physically and mentally. This is one part in the book that I love where she gives a story of two women walking into a crowded room. A bunch of women are sitting at a table, and one woman shows up to the table, and her experience at the table could be the exact same physical experience of another woman showing up and sitting at that table, but they both could leave that table taking away completely different things based on what they're doing in their mind about that experience. So you might pick apart this thing that you said or that, or what you think other people at the table thought about you and what they must be thinking of you. She explained when one woman walked into the room and people turned to look at her, one of the women took it as a negative thing. Oh no, they don't like this about me, that I'm here even. Whereas another woman walks into the room, they all look at her in the same way, but that person takes it and receives it as a positive thing and as an invitation to come to the table. So it just shows that our mindset is huge in the way that we even perceive our reality. And I used to pick apart myself in the mirror, but now I look at it more as an invitation to be thankful, as signals to be thankful for my age, a well-lived life. Whenever I'm tempted to go to that place of picking apart myself, I try to take a step back and think, do I really believe this? Would I ever think this about anyone else that I come across in my life? And realizing that no, I wouldn't. So why do we pick apart ourselves so much more than we would anybody else? And the same goes for thinking the opposite, that most of the time when someone's going away from experience, they're thinking more about themselves and picking that apart and what they did or what they said and what they didn't say versus what anybody else said. So everyone's just kind of doing that on their own, and it's pretty unnecessary in my opinion. I think we can definitely be responsible and care about how we're being to other people, but we don't need to be overtly obsessed with if something was received the wrong way when you had good intentions, or if maybe you're afraid you said the wrong thing. I mean, honesty I think is the best policy. If I ever am concerned about maybe something I said that wasn't received the right way, rather than like just letting it sulk inside me and not going anywhere, I like to bring it up in a polite, kind conversation. That way, if there ever was anything that was misunderstood, I can fix that the way that I meant it to come across. And that always makes it better. Bringing things up to me always makes it better. But that's also my personality. And I found over time that that's a form of just loving myself and my journey and not feeling like I had to have to hide myself. So I have quite a strong personality. A lot of people are insecure about their personalities and who they are. And you probably can't tell that I have a strong personality based on just this channel. Maybe you can, but I think you'll be able to see more of that if you watch my podcast, especially the opposing views conversations. And it can be easy to go to a place where you think that something might be wrong with you, because most people don't enjoy conversations on something that you disagree with the persons in front of you, and can get quite uncomfortable with that. But I really enjoy it, and every once in a while when I find someone who enjoys it too, then it's amazing. I definitely don't enjoy it if someone else is not enjoying it, but it can be easy to go to a place of wondering if someone's upset at you because you said something or whatever, when I really just value being honest and saying what I really think. And I value that in my friendships as well. I want people to be that way with me as well. But yeah, so I just think it's important to love our personalities the way we are, so long as our intentions are pure and we're coming and we're approaching everything with kindness and respect, and that's our goal, that we should be happy and thankful for our uniqueness. And going back to my fitness routine, it's become more of a flexible discipline. In the beginning, I found it kind of hard to stick to a routine, largely from trying to find when I'm going to work out with young children as a mother. But over time, I've found that being flexible with my discipline and not needing it to be a certain number of days of the week or specific days of the week has been really helpful to me. So I don't have to think, oh, I don't have time to work out 3 times this week, so I guess I just won't work out at all. That's not necessary to go there, go on the deep end. I can still choose to move my body and give myself dedicated time where I can squeeze it in, even if that's only once or twice a week, every once in a while. But my goal is 3 times a week. Aside from dedicated time that's for me to work out, I also just find being active with my kids, running around the house with them, playing hide and go seek, crawling on all fours, and just getting a little crazy with them, or playing tag outside with my kids. And we have a big yard, so it's a lot of running. It's also just a great way for me to multitask, where I'm really enjoying time with my kids and filling up their cup, but also being active. But for the dedicated times where I give myself that alone time to work out, even though sometimes the kids are running around me, I love to use the app Copilot, which I've spoken about before on my channel. To get started on Copilot, you take a short quiz and then they pair you with a personalized coach, and you get an onboarding call with them to talk about your available equipment, your personal fitness goals, the types of workouts that you enjoy doing, and then they create a customized workout plan just for you. I just love that you get customized guided workouts to your goals, schedule, and sensitivities in your body. Every program is tailored to you and continuously adapted to your desires. And with the app, you can work out anytime, anywhere. Having a personalized workout program that is specific to my goals, available equipment, and needs has helped me stay on track and disciplined in my busy life when taking care of myself could easily be put on the back burner. Copilot is fitness made easy. I never have to think about my workouts because everything's planned for me. Especially with how overwhelming my days can get, I wake up and my kids instantly need me. I have a lot of them, so there's different needs at different ages. So anything that can help me achieve my goals and get to my needs in a simpler way, the better. I receive so many benefits of having a flexible, disciplined workout routine because every time I work out, I always feel good in my body. I never regret a workout that I get in. And that's something that you'll get notifications on this app that remind you, when's the last time you regretted a workout? Let's get one in today. Your coach will give you encouragement and say, hey, how you doing? How's this week going? Do you have time to get another one in? That's been really helpful for me. I feel stronger in my body than I've ever had before because my coach knows exactly what my goals are and has been able to help me get there little by little. Whereas before, I felt a little bit lost in the dark when trying to figure out which exercise programs to do, which workouts to do. I'll scroll online trying to find something that fits the type of equipment I have and my abilities. But with Copilot, my coach has been monumental in helping me get stronger and use heavier weights than before with specific exercises that I didn't really know to do before. Copilot has improved my life in so many ways, from improving my routine when I used to get stuck on which workouts to do next, to getting stronger and using heavier weights with my coach's guidance and support. There's so much flexibility on this program. You can work out anytime, at home or at the gym. And I really love the calendar where every time you work out, it checks off that workout for the week. It feels so personal because if I'm unsure how to do a certain workout, I can talk to my coach who can give me tips on how to do it correctly so I don't hurt myself. And having another human that is expecting me to work out, that is motivating me to stay consistent and cheering me on has been so helpful. And I communicate with my coach before or after the workout about what I loved about it and what pushed me in ways that just really made me feel so good. You can send videos back and forth, you can text them, and it's just a really beautiful human connection. I love all the features in this app. At the end of each workout, it asks how you liked the workout, and you can give feedback and a rating so your coach knows what to enhance or tweak for your workouts to come. And then it gives you a summary or breakdown of the duration of your workout, the muscles you used, and intensity level. It's really motivating to see that after all your hard work. And each exercise is made clear for you how to use, and by the end of a workout, I'm feeling it extra than if I try to create a workout on my own, because your expert fitness coach is exactly that. My coach knows what she's doing to create a combination of exercises that optimize my goals. Right now, if you click my Copilot link below, you can get a 14-day free trial and 20% off your first month of personalized fitness if you sign up before February 1st, so definitely do it now. Other ways that I like to support myself in my daily habits is a simple skincare routine, which I've talked about before. You guys know that I love good skincare, and that little bit of extra time it takes goes a long way to help my skin feel more glowing and just uplifted. And I'll do things like gua sha at night sometimes after the kids all go to bed. Just making that extra time to really do things that improve my life goes such a long way, because there'll be a time when maybe I'm like just feeling a little bit dull, and so I'll do a beautiful mask and the kids might look at me like, oh my gosh, you look so scary, and I'll run around the house chasing them with my mask. But then afterwards my skin just feels so good, and yeah, I just think it goes such a long way. Just be sure as a mother to not put yourself on the back burner. It's so important to take care of yourself in these little ways. Another thing is to get out with my girlfriends. And it doesn't happen every single week, but we definitely have intentionality to go out together, to even if we just have like a sleepover at one of my friends' house and I'll bring the baby, which now she's like kind of growing out of, so I'm almost past that point. But going and doing little things like going out to lunch with my friends, and either getting a babysitter for a couple hours, or if my husband can watch the kids, depending on our schedules, we'll rotate things around so that I can make sure to get time for myself and with my friends. Because man, I just come back so refreshed, and I know that you know what I'm talking about. You're just so much more calm and have an easier time being super respectful to them, which is what we all want, right? We all want to be respectful to our kids and love them and show up for them in the best way that we can. I mean, that's like a theme of my life. Anytime I'm talking about anything of importance in my life, it almost always comes back to how I'm able to parent. You know, if you watch my channel or been on my Instagram for any amount of time, you know that that is just a major theme for me. So I always end up bringing it back to that because it's the most important thing I've ever done and I'll ever do. And so I want to make sure that I do it with intentionality. So a lot of times taking care of myself comes back to a benefit to taking care of myself, is that I can be a better mother. Because obviously you don't want to just take care of yourself just for your kids, but it's all encompassing and there's so many benefits. And I want to go back a little bit to friendships, to be sure to surround yourself with people who know their self-worth and who have positive self-talk about themselves and others, and just aren't picking themselves apart, because truly what you spend the most time with becomes a big part of your inner voice. A really good example of this is that, you know, as you age, you can start to think, oh man, I like this and this is looking older. But one time I was talking to my sister about something and she goes, you know what, but that's just getting older. Like, we're older than we were 10 years ago. And you know, I was talking to my friend who's 10 years older than us, and she was saying the same thing, and how it's just a normal part of life and aging is not a bad thing. And that just like that kind of reminder, versus if you had the friend that's going, oh I know, I feel the same way, oh gosh, yeah, like we're aging, and oh I hate the way that looks, like that's just going to reinforce that negative self-talk that you want to go to. But when you're with people that think positively about themselves and have a positive self-worth about themselves and positive image about the way that they look too, I mean, that goes such a long way. My two best friends, Danielle and Josefa, are just they just radiate positivity and confidence. They love who they are and they love the way that they look like, and that just radiates off to me, because you see that they're not hyper focused on minute things about your appearance or about their own appearance. That's just not even on their radar. There's too many other important things to care about. And you know, they both have this big importance of taking care of themselves, but it's not coming at it with this mindset of lack or of I'm not good enough and how do I fix myself. It's more about abundance and supporting the beauty and the essence that's already within you. So I don't know if this is helpful for you. It's all about perception. Perception is incredible. You could one day think a certain thing about yourself, and then when something shifts your perspective, you go back and you look at yourself and think, how did I ever think that way about me, about myself, about who I am, and maybe even what I look like. And this can also be influenced by Instagram and face filters, which you know that I talk a lot about, or I have talked about. I just really don't love the face filters that pretty much everyone, almost everyone uses on Instagram, or I don't have TikTok, but you know, that TikTok as well is where they have it, where it completely takes away any texture in your face. It just looks, everyone is starting to look the same. And I also follow this Instagram account that shows a lot about how there's AI Instagrams out now with fake people, and you think they're humans, but they're completely made up and fake. It's just not realistic. People don't look like this with the face filters on. Nobody looks like this in real life. And it can be really easy to look at that and think, oh, I don't look like that. But honestly, no one looks like that. We're all gonna have normalcies in the way we look. Even the most beautiful celebrity by today's standards. Do you remember growing up back in the day, you would see the movie star, the beautiful movie star in the movies, and then you'd see the tabloid magazine and you think, oh, that's what they look like? Yeah, because they're a normal, regular person, and everyone looks normal and regular. Even beautiful people that you see in the movies. So this also coincides with what we see today with Instagram, where everyone's using face filters. I'm just not a fan. I just really not a fan. So if that means following accounts that aren't using face filters, then and that helps you, then try that. And yeah, that's my message about that. I remember I saw this quote of Cindy Crawford that was really beautiful and eye-opening to me, because a lot of times you see supermodels and movie stars that are doing everything they possibly can to, you know, get Botox and fillers and all kinds of surgeries to try to slow the aging processes or pretend that they're not aging when they are. She said she wasn't trying to look younger than she was because she's not that age, and she's the age that she is now. Why would I want to look an age that I'm not? And aging is a sign of life, you know? And I just thought that was beautiful to hear from someone that is like so iconic. Truly, what you surround yourself with and what you see becomes an inner reflection of yourself. So I like to surround myself with people who are positive and who are confident in themselves. But that doesn't mean discard your friends who aren't confident. I'm really not a fan of this, like, anyone who's a little bit slightly imperfect, you need to discard them and only surround yourself, because honestly, we would never say that about anybody of anything else. There's this man, Richard Newman, who I also had on the podcast, and I really love what he had to say about this. I'll share a clip right here.
Imagine if a politician said, all the rich people should stop helping anybody who is less wealthy than them. If you want to be wealthy, never give any of your money to anybody less wealthy than yourself. Nobody would believe that that was the right thing to do. Imagine if they said that, hey, if you're healthy right now, don't help anyone who's sick, because people who are sick are a bit of a downer, so don't help them out. Clearly, we wouldn't do that. But what they are saying is, hey, if you're feeling good right now and you don't want to feel bad, then cut the negative people out of your life, because they're a real downer. Now, listen, if you're watching one of those posts, then it could be because you're feeling like you need someone to motivate or inspire you or help you get to a better place. And what those influencers are doing is they're telling all the positive people in your life to abandon you and let you deal with it by yourself. And I've had enough of that. That is not the kind of world that any of us really want to live in.
You might just be that person that can be that positive voice for somebody else in your life to love themselves and know their self-worth. I'm going to end the video here. I hope you found it encouraging, and just thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. Let me know in the comments what your self-love journey has been like. I'd love to hear from you and read your stories. Please know that you are wonderful just as you are. Your personality is uniquely you. The way you look is uniquely you. I encourage you to speak to yourself the way you would talk to a younger version of yourself. Imagine you're an old woman talking to you now. What would you say to yourself? What words of encouragement would you share? Likely there would be something along the lines of not sweating the small stuff and that you must know your self-worth. And don't forget, guys, to click my Copilot link below to get a 14-day free trial and 20% off your first month of personalized fitness if you sign up before February 1st. This app will be so helpful to make fitness enjoyable, motivating, and consistent for you to reach your personal fitness goals.